Well, hello. My name is Wayne Embleton. My wife and I are the directors of the Bluff Fort Historic Site. Bluff Fort is a recreation of the fort that the pioneers of 1880 originally built when they arrived. They built approximately 60 cabins around this facility. We have rebuilt about 15 of them in the same size, but a lot nicer than what the pioneers had. We have them chained off. You can go to the front doors and look inside the cabins, and you press a button on the wall in one of 5 or 6 different languages, and you can hear a history of some of these families that colonized and settled this area. The fort also has displays of Ute teepees and Navajo hogans. The history of the fort began in 1880 when the pioneers built it. They tore down their own fort after they had made peace with the Native Americans that were already here, which was one of their goals. They did not feel threatened anymore, so the reason we don't have a lot of original cabins anymore is because they tore them down to use the wood to build their homes in other places. We do have a couple of original cabins that are still here, and over my shoulder in the distance you may be able to see a wagon behind me. That's a wagon that came down that hole in the rock adventure back in the early 1880s. So we do have a few original things. We have photographs and all kinds of information. We have gold panning for the kids where they can grab some gold and have a good time with that. We had one of our volunteers, Jerry Allred, and he carved those wagons and those horses all the way down to the harnesses of the horses pulling one wagon at a time up San Juan Hill. That was their last huge challenge that they had. In about 2008, I believe, is when the first cabins, the recreated cabins out here, were built by people that were descendants of the pioneers that donated their own money and their own time. It began with a descendant of Jens Nielsen, who was one of those original pioneers that came here. One of his descendants, Corinne Roaring, decided that she would like to maintain the history of those pioneers and their legacy, and so she's the actual one that got this thing started. She got money donated from people here in the area and from outside sources. This whole fort is donated. It is now owned by the Hole in the Rock Foundation, which is run by a board of descendants of these pioneers. The admission to the fort is free, so it's all on contributions that this fort is run by. We're lucky we're on the main highway, and people don't know about Bluff or Bluff Fort, and they see it on the main highway and they say, well, let's just stop in. Many of them express that, well, we just thought we'd come in for 5 or 10 minutes and take a look, and they're here for 3 hours. And it's fantastic, and the statements that we get from these people is that they're so moved by the experience they had here that they're really thrilled. So we're lucky to be on the highway when people are going to Moab and down the Monument Valley and things, and we just happen to be on the way. Because of the COVID crisis, we're closed in the visitor center right now. However, we do have ice cream that we sell out of our kitchen out here by the patio, and refreshments and cookies and water, and we also have a few souvenirs that we sell out of there also. We sanitize everything several times a day. If you see something that you don't like, let us know and we'll take care of it for you. We invite all of you to come and see us. We guarantee you a good time. We love the place. We talk about the history of Bluff Fort and the Hole in the Rock Trail, which was used to get here, which they built. One thing that we have to be careful of is that we love this place so much and we love the history that sometimes we tend maybe to get carried away in our expression of wanting to tell you everything. So excuse our enthusiasm, but we welcome you to Bluff Fort. We hope you have a great time, and thank you very much.